Okay, y'all, I have to make a retraction. I'm so embarrassed. China did not ban Christmas. I feel like a dumbass, especially when people like gave me, like in the comments, they gave me links to Christmas festivities in Beijing. And they were like, I just celebrated Christmas last night in China. What are you talking about? Like, so I was like, all right, I will lead you some links in the bottom, showing the links that they sent me, but I'll also leave you some links showing why I thought or what I thought. So again, I'm a dummy. I apologize. It's banned or forbidden in some provinces, but not all of China. They have certain churches that have to be Christian churches that have to be government approved. And what happened is they'll go into the churches and they'll install cameras to make sure that you're not celebrating Christmas festivities, you know, and like no Christmas trees, no Santa, no Christmassy stuff, okay? Some provinces, again, not all of China. Some places, not all places, okay? Now, somebody wrote me, it was a Chinese Cooking with Audrey, saying that government officials aren't allowed to celebrate Christmas. But still, that's like shiesty, because, I mean, come on. Even if you're a government official, the government has no business of telling you what you can and can't celebrate. So, so that is it's still an issue. It's still, you know, a form of enslavement and control that I think is terrible. But like I said, I'll leave those links below. I concede. I apologize. I don't get my news from mainstream media. When I lived overseas in Taiwan, I did notice that a lot of the international news that came about America or other countries was translated, and nobody really does any investigative journalism outside of their country. They basically just translate from whatever the main news source is, and that's how they get their information. So in that vein, or in that aspect, information can be spread about America and China, going both ways, because Chinese people definitely talk shit about Americans and have bad, you know, press about Americans as well. So it's not just Americans being like, oh, you know, getting misinformation about China. There's misinformation about Americans as well, okay? So, but that's what happens when you don't live in a place, and everybody is victim to it. Everybody's subject to it. When you don't live somewhere, you're subject to the information you are, or you're dependent on, the information that you get is dependent on what you hear. So you have to trust the source that you hear it from. Yeah, I mean, you know, so having an opinion about China, as far as the negative aspects of government, how their people are controlled, I've actually gotten this from other people that I know that work and live there. So I had a friend that I tutored who was the CEO of a company that makes accessories for Apple called Bone. And he said he went there on a business trip. There was a guy that was blind, escaped to the American industry, and I guess it slipped past the censors, and it started, the news story started on TV, and they actually turned the TV black, all the TVs black, at the same time, to prevent from the public from seeing it. As far as the VPNs, I didn't mention that in the last video, but I think Chinese Cooking with Audrey mentioned that. I didn't say anything about it, but since it was brought up, when talking to my best friend, you know, he would say that you can get on when he lived there. So as foreigners, you have as a foreigner too, you have a little bit more leniency and a little bit more freedom than you do as a person that that lives there, from what I heard. Okay, and he lived in smaller provinces. He lived in Wuxi and Tianjin province. So, but he was saying, like, you can get on the internet, but then you go to certain websites and they'll have a firewall, and then you can use a VPN, a virtual private number or something, to go further. But even then, he was like, if you look up certain things, the censors will set it off, and like, it's hard. He was like, it's really frustrating to get on the internet. But I mean, what does that tell you too, if a whole country, if you have to just have a VPN to get on the internet? So, I mean, it's still a form of enslavement, and it's still a form of control. So if you guys are offended by that, I'm not trying to China bash. And I don't appreciate people saying fuck China and fuck Chinese people too, because I'm not down with that. I'm a worldly person. I love people. I'm learning Mandarin. I think Chinese medicine and philosophy is on point. They're on point. They're way ahead of their time. And I think that's another aspect that's been suppressed by the New World Order to keep people from progressing as a human race. And, you know, they have a lot of protests too. There are a lot of people in China that aren't down with that, you know. And I've had students tell me stuff, and I've had, you know, other people that work that have told me things about China that aren't good, that show a level of control over the people that is not here in the United States yet, but it looks like that's what they're trying to implement. And we're enslaved too. Don't get it twisted. We're enslaved too. We're all enslaved. But I think China is just like the next level that they're trying to take the U.S. to. And, you know, they're just as, you know, consumerism is a form of enslavement. We have that too, even though we're buying products based on, you know, or based on made from slaves in China. It makes us very, you know, it's not good. So this whole thing too about like the enslavement, how we're all enslaved, you know, it's not Chinese people, it's the government that I would say is doing enslavement. It's their deep state. Every country has like a deep state, and every member from the deep state is working with other members of the deep state from other countries to bring on the New World Order. If you think that's inaccurate, I would not concede on that, because I know I'm right about that. But as far as the Christmas shit, I was totally wrong. I feel really bad. So I think that's it. I had a couple people that was like, you want to know the skinny, hit me up. I will definitely interview. Hit me up on my Facebook page, message me. If you're somebody that lives in China and you want to talk about this and you think I got it all wrong, please hit me up. I would love to interview you. And thanks for your critical comments. I appreciate it. You know, I have a lot of people that send me nice compliments all the time. So it's good that people read me every once in a while. Even the guy was like, you know, Christmas is a pagan holiday, and I will call you sister, but you're not my sister, because you're too stupid, you know, to know that Christmas is a white man's holiday. And I'm just like, all right, dude, that you're stupid. You make me laugh. So, but I appreciate it. You know, I don't think it's healthy to have people kissing your ass all the time. So, anyway, yeah, hit me up. I would love to interview somebody that lives in China that would like to talk about this stuff. In the present moment. And that's it. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Mwah.